I'm working, so I'm going to do this now. All right, so let's get started on these warm-ups. Apparently, we all forgot how to do anything with fractions. So on the STAR test in 6 days, you will have questions that have fractions on them. I want you to be familiar with how to do this.
So is it next week on Monday?
Tuesday. STAR test next Tuesday. Yay!
Right?
And I'm freaking out. Let me just tell you.
I'm not
I'm like, this all weekend.
We only got like 6 days.
I know. I'm so worried.
I'm not.
You're worried about us. You're worried because we're so behind.
So I'm just worried that y'all will be like, la la la, spit in my mouth. Check.
Oh, right.
How much questions are there? There should be 38 questions on the STAR test. You need 17 to pass, I believe.
38?
Yeah.
Why is it so low?
Are you lucky? You'll have 4 hours to complete it.
Am I in your class again?
Probably if you were last time.
Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
That's good. That's good. Wait, what?
Wait.
I don't know though because we don't have a list of kids.
Yeah,
But imagine however it was last time.
I'm confused.
With what?
I don't know what she said.
She was asking about STAR testing.
I know what she said.
If she was going to be in my room.
I
I think it's pretty much alphabetical, so it depends.
My name.
Okay, let's solve some fraction problems. Okay, first of all, remember this is a mixed number, and you can't do operations with it in this form. So we have to change it to improper. Starting with the 2, we're going to do 2 times 6, and then add the 1. So I call at my old school we used to call this Texas because it looks like
What did we do?
it looks like TX. First we multiply and then we add. So 2 times 6 is 12. Plus 1 is 13, right? So 13 over 2. Now it's improper. Same value. Times 1/4. Okay. And now I just multiply across. So I've got 13 over 8. Can I leave it like that? No, it has to go back to a mixed number. So we change it from a mixed number to work with it, and then we got to change it back. So let's see. 13 divided by 8. 8 goes into 13 how many times? So that's my whole number. I subtract and get what for my remainder? Jalen, pay attention to this. You're going to be working on it in the hallway. 5. Okay, so the 5 comes up and is my numerator, and this 8 stays the same because the size of the shape of the pieces don't change. So 1 and 5, 8. Okay, so one thing that you need to know in 6th grade, and it might just be one question, I don't even know why they bother. You need to know that if you multiply by a number less than 1, a fraction, your answer will be smaller. Okay, you know how when you multiply with anything, like with 1, you get the same answer. 12 times 1 is 12. If you multiply it by anything greater than 1, your answer ends up bigger than where you start. When you multiply by a fraction, it goes the other way. You get a smaller answer from where you start. That might be on the test. All right, let's look at this other one. So we did our multiplication. Now we're going to do division. Same numbers. So that's going to save us a step. Now, see my Colonel Sanders over here? He's in charge of dividing fractions. Because we can't divide fractions, we have to change them using what? Heat, change, flip. Okay, so we're going to keep the 6.5. Can you not? And fix your mask. And we're going to change. What do we change?
The division to 1.
Now it's multiply, and we flip our 1/4 to 4 over 1. Any questions on this one right now? All I did is keep, change, flip.
Yes. Okay, I know that one.
Okay. But now we have to finish, we have to multiply it. Okay, please stop talking.
Do it.
Stop talking. Second time. All right. So now we actually have to multiply 6.5 times 4/1. Well, we did the conversion over here. So just like last time, 2 times 6 is 12 plus 1 is 13/2
You're getting tired of me.
times 4/1. Okay, so now we could do the multiplying across. But if you remember a long time ago at the beginning of the school year, we talked about how we could simplify first by looking diagonal. Now 13 and 1, that's as simple as I can go. But 2 and 4, I can divide both of those by 2. So how many 2s are in 2? 1. How many 2s are in 4? 2. Now I can multiply across, and I'm going to get 26/1, otherwise known as 26. Huh?
Where'd you get my
13 times 2.
okay.
Okay, if I did not simplify first, I would get, let's see, 13 times 4. Let's see, 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4, 1 is 5. I would get 52/2. And then I would have to simplify that. 52 divided by 2 is 26.
That's too much.
I just heard a scream.
Okay. So, same thing. But I simplified before I multiplied, just so I didn't have to deal with the bigger numbers when I was done. Any questions on this? No? Okay, let's do another example. If I have a fraction, let's see, no, just 3/5 times 25/30. Okay. If I wanted to multiply that without simplifying first, I would just multiply across. 3 times 25 is what if you have 3/4? 75. And then 5 times 30 is what? 5 times 3 and add a 0. What's that? 5 times 3 is 15 and then there's a 0. Okay, so if I just multiplied across, I would get that. But if I simplified first, I would look at the 5 and 25 and be like, oh, I can divide both of those by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. And then 3 and 30 can both be divided by 3, these guys. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 30 divided by 3 is 10. Now when I multiply across, 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 10 is 10. And that's 1/2. So it's 75/150, but you would have to divide it down still. Either way, you get the same answer. Any questions? Okay, so out in the hallway today. Let me see. Okay, so you've got some cards. This was not the first thing I wanted to do this week, but my copies were late, so this was my plan B for today. This is cards. So, you can work with a partner. You can use the paper in your journal and then tear it out. I don't really have any scratch paper left. So,
Miss Blake,
huh?
I have some scratch paper I can pass out.
You just hold on to that for yourself for now, but that's very nice. Okay, so, Out there, you're going to see things like fractions. Also, hold on. Before we go out there, fractions, decimals, and percents. If I gave you a fraction, oops, no. If I gave you a percent. Hey, quiet please. Because you're going to do this out in the hallway. You're going to see some cards that give you a fraction or a percent, and you're going to have to switch it. If they give you a percent and ask for the fraction, we put this number over 100 because remember, percent means out of 100. Okay? And from there, I have to simplify it. Well, they're both even. So let's see. I bet I could divide both by 4. So I would get 25. Let's see, 4 goes in here once. Wait. One time. Oh, 19. Okay, so I get 19 25ths after I simplify. If they give you a fraction to go to percent, is a fraction and percent, you try to get to 100. So if you have something with a 20 on the bottom, you want to get to 100. So what would this be? 20 to 100, what do we multiply by? 5. 5 on top.
Yeah.
25 out of 100 is 25%.
Wait, what? How many test cards are there?
20, anything over 100 is percent. Out of a percent actually means per 100.
Yeah, but what's times 5?
To go from 20, if I'm given a fraction and I can get to 100, that's a shortcut. 20 times what number equals 100? Well, times 5. What I do the bottom, I do to the top. 5 times 5 is 25. What? Okay, hold on, one more. If they give you a percent and ask for the decimal, you drop the percent and move the decimal 2 places. So that would be just 58 hundredths. Because that's the same as this, 58 hundredths as a decimal. And a fraction, they're the same. Okay. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to stop this.